What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from June 17th, 2021. And we do something here. There we go. That's better. Much better. They're at Nashville, Tennessee, in Jacksonville. Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm botching already. They're at the Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. This is the fallout of what happened on Impact Plus, where it pertains to Impact Against All Odds 2021. So we're gonna get right into it with D'Lo Brown and Josh Matthews as your commentator. Before I move on to everything that's happened on the show, I gotta mention something where it pertains to. I was giving Josh Matthews a benefit of the doubt about him coming back to on commentary. Now, I don't know if it's temporary that he's coming back on commentary. I don't know if it is or not, but hopefully it'll be over pretty soon, because I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt of coming back to commentary with D'Lo Brown and everything. But then he started saying something stupid on the show. And D'Lo Brown's the same thing too, but at least I can tolerate D'Lo Brown. But Josh Matthews is the one I cannot tolerate at all. So the sooner that Matt Striker comes back from his assignment, the better that Josh Matthews get the fuck out of Impact Wrestling, the fuck out of that commentary booth, and get right back into the before the Impact thing that they've been doing. Because I'm getting sick and tired of hearing Josh Matthews now. I mean, he's not boring me like he's done before. Not saying he's exciting. He's still boring, but just a quick reminder of why I didn't want to hear him on commentary in the first place. Not because of his boredom, but all because of his cleverness and all that. Thinks that it's clever and everything, and it's thinks that he's fine with it, and it's not. So once I start hearing him on commentary, it reminds me of how annoying. I forgot how annoying he was on commentary. So there you go. But what happened? So let's move on, shall we? To the big what happened on the show. So this is a follow up. What happened with Sami Callihan being fired? Right? So we go to the office. Well, not in the office of Scott Demoy, but he's in his office, while Gina Miller is outside, talking to us about she's going to get some answers about what's going on with the whole situation, what happened against all odds. So she's knocking. All of a sudden, Moose gets in the way and starts banging. Scott Demoy gets to the door, and Moose wants an answer about what happened from pertains to him getting screwed, and he wants a rematch for the world title and everything. He said he can care less about what happened with Sami Callihan being fired, but he got robbed and everything, which is true. Which pertains to the Young Bucks getting involved and all that. So he didn't get a rematch. But Scott Demoy is taking care of the situation of everything that's going on right now, and he said that someone from Anthem, like an executive from Anthem, is gonna be coming to, later on the show, which we'll get to when we get to it. And yeah, basically, Scott Demoy said that he had no time for Moose right now, and Moose is like, all right, fine, I'll make you have time. So we'll get to that when we get to it. So then we get to the opening match, which was TJP versus Black Taurus. TJP is being accompanied by Fallah Bahh, and Black Taurus is being accompanied by Crazy Steve. And having a match, and it was pretty decent, with TJP getting the win. And after the match, Moose comes in and starts attacking TJP and Black Taurus out of the ring. Most likely the TJP, as to be exact. And Moose gets a steel chair. He basically doing like he did last time. We're saying to Scott Demoy, you better come out right now, because he's basically threatening to hold the show once again, like he did the last time. Also, we get three securities coming in. They try to get in the ring, but Moose is like basically threatening not to come in. And then Moose was going to get back to sit on his chair. All of a sudden, someone soaring off the top rope. Hey, Chris Sabin. I thought to myself it was TJP, and I said to myself, wait a minute, that's not TJP, it's someone else. And it was Chris Sabin, actually. Chris Sabin started beating up on Moose. He started throwing his shoe at him. Basically, and he, and in the steel chair that I was in the ring, Moose was trying to get in the ring, but Chris Sabin is defensive of the steel chair because he knows about that steel chair he can't take care of Moose by himself. But hey, by any means necessary, Chris Sabin, he did it on his own. He's like, I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna do it on my own. But anyways, that was that. Also, when we go backstage, we see Rick Rajul talking to Ace Austin, and you also see my man Fulton. Basically, Ace, not Ace, Rohit Rajul is upset, and Matt Fulton interfering and all that, pertains to having a no contest. Which probably I'm gonna talk more about that when we get to what was announced, because I called it too, by the way, when I did the review of it before the show, before the show of Impact Wrestling of this one. Well, actually, it was like announced on Twitter, but it was announced on that Wednesday night. I'm assuming it was either on a Wednesday night or somewhere on a Wednesday afternoon, whatever. But the point is, it was announced before, basically a day before this Impact Wrestling show, which I was late to do the review, so I apologize for that. So I'm here right now doing it right now, and by the time this gets up, already getting ready to watch Impact Wrestling. So for those who watches Impact Wrestling. I'll be working, unfortunately. So, even though if I wasn't working, I'm not watching Impact Wrestling on Twitch TV. I can't do it anymore. But anyways, I'm not gonna go do it again. Why I decided not to start watch. I decided not to watch anymore. Live on Twitch TV. Now, if I access TV, I'll tolerate horrible commercials. But when it's Twitch TV, I cannot tolerate repeats of the greatest moments and all that, returns of promos, matches, and whatever they do. And the way I guess I kind of explained again about that, which I didn't realize I was going to explain it, but I can explain it in the short term in a way, so whatever. Anyways, but so basically Ace also is excusing Matt Fulton's behavior about he gets hot like that, and says it was retaliation after what happened to him, when guys like Chris Bay, Ray Rajul was one of them, P.D. Williams, and I forget who the other one was. Trey Miguel, for taking him out in the first place. So it was him retaliating from against all odds. So Ace also trying to make a deal with Ray Rajul, which to him to get on the same page with them at Summerversary, where it pertains to the match that they're going to be having, which the match is going to be Ultimate X. I called it. As soon as I saw that finish of the no contest, pertains to the rest of the 5 exhibition wrestlers, like an Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, Rick Rajul, we're forgetting the name again, Trey Miguel, not Trey Miguel, Chris Bay, and P.D. Williams. This time I forgot this time I forgot Chris Bay's name this time. That he was involved. So, but anyways, so basically I called it. We're taking those 5 guys now. And you're adding the Exhibition champion and Charles Alexander. Exhibition, at Summerversary for the title, Ultimate X. I called it. Now, am I thrilled that I called it? No. But am I excited that the match is going to happen? Yes. Am I still okay of a no contest to happen against all odds? Hell no. Are you kidding me? If anything deserves a no contest, it should have been Kojima versus Doring. But what do I know, right? Jay Miller welcomes Chris Sabin, back after he was taken out by Moose at one point. Chris Sabin is focused on Moose and he wants to challenge him at Summerversary. I say myself, so that's why you want Moose to that's why you want to keep Moose around for Summerversary. Now here's the thing, Moose, he did resign. He resigned a multi-year deal. I think it's what 2 or 3 years of remaining to stick around with Impact Wrestling, which great, I'm glad. But this is all the best you got for Moose for Summerversary against Chris Sabin. No offense and no disrespect to Chris Sabin, but really? to make Moose worth his while. I'm pretty sure they're paying him a lot too, because he deserves it. But Chris Sabin is his best solution for him at Summerversary. Where's James Storm? At least James Storm should come out to get revenge on Moose, but instead it's Chris Sabin. All right, but that's what's gonna happen. So, we get to Josh Alexander versus Mammoth Fulton with Ace Austin at ringside, and Mammoth Fulton looked like a monster against Josh Alexander. I gotta put one thing, and during this match, Josh Alexander versus Mammoth Fulton was happening. Mammoth Fulton was happening. Match was fine. That's it was good for what it was, especially with Mammoth Fulton looking strong here. I'll get to the finish when I get to it, but the matches was it is what it was. But I gotta call out Josh Matthews on this one. Josh Matthews says on the back of Josh Alexander's tights, his singlet, I should say, it says Iron Man. And I say to myself, no, it says Alexander. Maybe if Josh Alexander, no, not Josh Alexander, Josh Matthews, Josh Alexander. Now it's confusing. but Josh Matthews and D'Lo Brown need to stop watching that Iron Man match that Josh Alexander and TJP had 5 times on YouTube. That way, Josh Matthews will make that mistake by saying that Josh Alexander's singlet says Iron Man from the back, but it says Alexander, you moron. But in the end, Josh Alexander won the match. And I'll say to myself, so you build up Mammoth Fulton being this monster, especially how he was unleashed and his monster tactics against all odds. And he was still a monster here. But then he loses to Josh Alexander. You can't have it both ways. You can't have him be a monster and then have him lose the next. I don't understand who's booking this. I don't understand who's booking Mammoth Fulton like this. But the divine intervention was the finish of the match. After the match, though, you had Ace Austin attacking Josh Alexander. Immediately once the match was over, by the way. And then Pete Williams goes for the save, and Rajul goes for the save. For a chance to saving Ace Austin, and Trey Miguel goes in for the save for Josh and PD. And then you get the return of Shira. Yeah, Shira returns and takes out Josh Alexander, takes out Trey Miguel, takes out Pete Williams, and yeah. So yeah, they're building Shira more of a monster than Mammoth Fulton now. Are you kidding me? That's nothing. That's nothing, by the way, folks. I didn't get to mention this. Rajul said he's got a surprise. Pertains to the interactions that Ace Austin and Rajul had before before this whole thing happened. When the conversation they had backstage. I forgot to mention that whole thing where Rajul had talk about he's got a surprise, and the surprise is as we find out later on, it was Shira returning. So they're building Shira more of a monster than they are with Mammoth Fulton. Even though Mammoth Fulton is more of a better wrestler than Shira. And on top of that, Mammoth Fulton makes his shit looks like it's full of wrestling experience, or how he bumps and everything. Shira makes it look awkward. But whatever, right? And what do they call him? Does he lions like that? I don't know. Who cares? We go backstage and we see the Knockouts champion, Deonna Purrazzo, is having issues with Kimberly and Susan. And basically, Deonna Purrazzo just is sick and tired of them, sick and tired of them failing over time. And then you have Susan saying, "You will never be our Knockouts champion working for us," or I'm like, no. Deonna Purrazzo, first of all, not no. But you know what? Susan's right. Susan's right, because ever since they paired up, Susan and Kimberly with Deonna Purrazzo, it is because of them that Deonna Purrazzo has student knockouts champion ever since her second reign, and that's fucking ridiculous. Because Deonna Purrazzo, when she first became the knockouts champion, she had no help. She done it all by herself as a heel, but because she's now knockouts champion again, with Kimberly on her side, and then with Susan on her side, with her, had to cheat because of outside interferences and distractions, or whatever. Makes Deonna Purrazzo look bad as a champion right now in the knockouts division. So in a way, I gotta agree with, as much as I didn't like the character of Susan on saying that, I gotta admit that Susan's right. But in the end, Deonna Purrazzo says she's done with them, and that was it. And apparently that's going to be a match for them, for Deonna Purrazzo and Susan, which we'll get to when that was announced. But we'll get to it. But hey, I was happy though that Deonna Purrazzo got rid of both Kimberly and Susan. So, and pretty soon we'll probably see Kimberly versus Deonna Purrazzo pretty soon. So. Let me get to Jim Miller, who wants to know how W. Morrissey feels after the momentum of victory over Rich Swann, and he says, since he's joined Impact, he's noted, he noted everyone relies, I meant to say, on their friends to help out them, to help them out basically, and he basically like guys like Roy Mack and Rich Swann, can't remember who else he mentioned, but he says that it reminds him of a spell, that he feels good on his own, and he wants to keep it that way, basically be on his own. And basically with his promo, it was a good promo though for from W. Morrissey. So very very good that he has his time to talk again on the show, and to show that he really is improving a lot since coming back. And I watched his his interview with Chris Van Vliet. Well, it was an emotional interview that he talked about. Everything he talked about pertains to everything that's going on with him after his his time in WWE, and even during his time in WWE, especially with his time at NXT, and everything that he went through in the Indies and all that, and then with him being in Impact Wrestling. And with him having guidance to help him out, everything he was going through, he's finally sees happiness in his life now, and he looks more happier than he's ever been. Now since his character on TV, he looks like he's he's an evil, miserable person that wants everyone to suffer along with him, so. But yeah, that's pro wrestling though, But yeah, I'm glad that he's doing very good. He's doing very good for himself. Now we get to the debut of Steve Maclin. Now I thought it was gonna be Maclin, but instead it's Maclin. So I guess I was saying his last name wrong. So my apologies to the former Steve Cutler, who is Steve Maclin. So Steve Maclin makes his debut, and he goes up against some guy named Jason Page, and he destroys Jason Page. Basically, it was all a highlight to showcase Steve Maclin. And Steve Maclin, meant to say. See, I screwed up again. And then he wins the match, which, of course he's gonna win. But yeah, but his finisher was basically like a Blade Sunday, reverse Blade Sunday, but instead of Sam going all the way down, he goes and he sits down along with them, slams them and everything, which was nice, like good. Now I don't know what he's gonna be calling that, but yeah, it looked good though. So yeah, not a bad debut for Steve Maclin. There you go. Which, by the way, he is dating Deonna Purrazzo. I think they're engaged though. they might be engaged, but either way, they are together. They are a couple, and I'm glad that those two are back together. Working in the same business, which is the wrestling business. Now it was a different business. Which is still working at NXT, but now John Russell's being gone there, and he was there for that long. And then he went, and then he got moved up to the main roster along with Actually, I can't remember if he was moved up to the main roster before or after John Russell got released. I don't know. I don't remember, but who knows? But yeah, the point is, Deon Prazo and Steve Maclin are back together now. This time, just to be at the same job, working at the same company. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. Rachel Ellering talking to Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is upset over the loss of Tina Dashwood. She's also mad that people are in the back, thinking that Jordan Grace had progress lately because of Rachel Ellering being her partner, and she Rachel Ellering is saying basically trying to calm down all that, but Grace didn't want to listen. She didn't want to hear it, so she walked away. So, and that was that. So yeah, they're teasing something about this whole thing. I don't like it. Gia Miller is standing outside of Impact World Champions locker room in Kenny Omega. She's knocking on the door, and instead of Kenny Omega, it's Don Callis answering the door. She's asking about trying to remember what was the question. Oh yeah, asking about basically the whole thing about happened with Sami Callihan. So basically, because he's the EVP, quote unquote the EVP on TV, unlike Don Callis, unlike Scott D'Amore, this is Don Callis saying this, he doesn't attach himself to the roster. He prefers to keep everything business-like, not personal, and saying that not to worry about what is about the representative of Anthem is going to say or do. He thinks that they are coming to applaud him for his effort to give a gift basket in a way. So he thinks, but we'll get to that. Tina Dashwood being accompanied by Killful K versus Rachel Ellering. Tina Dashwood and Rachel Ellering having a good match. It was a long match too, by the way. Due to some distractions though, twice in the match. But the final distraction was what did Rachel Ellering, because of all people to win was Tina Dashwood to win. And so Tina Dashwood got a win over on Rachel Ellering. So first she got a win over on Jordan Grace back in Against All Odds. Now she got a win over on Rachel Ellering. What does this mean? I don't know. It could mean anything. I'm not gonna figure that out until we find out what it actually means. Once I get a chance to watch the next show. Decay finds TJP and Falabak outside, standing in front of Scott D'Amore's door. After what happened to TJP, when it tends to moves attacking him and all that, Decay has some unfinished business in a way with the teams of TJP and Falaba. So they'll be seeing them soon. So there you go. And I really don't remember much of it other than that. So now we get to the Knockout Tag Team Champions, Fire and Flavor, which is Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. So they're going around the building, not the entire building, but but they're informing everyone that they are the greatest Knockouts Tag Team Champions of all time. To some guy mopping or sweeping whatever he was doing, and then some guy was taking out the trash. Because, well, you know what that means. Time to take out the trash. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's more to it than that, folks. There's more to it than that. We're gonna get to that. So, as Hogan and Tasha Steelz talking to this guy who's taking out the trash, all of a sudden, Rosemary shows up and basically interrupts, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. All of a sudden, they start walking away. All of a sudden, they bump into from behind. behind them, I should say, is Havoc. So they realize that like, oh no, not the shit again. Also, Rosemary grabs Tasha Steele and slams her into the wall. Hogan is couldn't believe that's what's going on, and then she gets taken on by Havoc, and then Havoc just picks up Kiera Hogan and throws her into the trash because, well, you know what that means, Kiera Hogan, fire, the girl on fire, the hottest flame. Now period. Time to take out the trash. Of Hotlanta, a trash Lanta. I'm terrible. Oh man. But Kiera Hogan was taking out the trash by Havoc. So that's Rosemary and Havoc leaves. So I guess now we can figure out now who's gonna be facing Fire and Flavor for the Knockout Tag Team titles at Slammiversary. It's gonna be Rosemary and Havoc. Now, are there gonna be no tag teams to take the belts away from Fire and Flavor? I don't know. You have to wait and find out once we get closer to Slammiversary, so I can do the preview. But Tasha Steele's also, she goes to talk about Kiera Hogan out of the trash, the trash thing that they, that's we put trash bags in there and all that. And for a reason, I don't know for what reason they did this, but I think it was either Kiera Hogan or Tasha Steele's. Let me see. Okay, so someone noticed that there's a trash bag with a name on there, right? So it was one picked it up. I'm assuming it's Kiera Hogan because Kiera Hogan was, because she was in the trash bin, whatever that was called. She picks it up, and it's a trash bag with the name Mickey.
Hardcore country!
Well, you know what that means. And this is no offense, no disrespect. It is all for fun. But time to take out the trash.
Hardcore country! Hardcore country!
Again, no offense, no disrespect, nothing personal. It's just business and it's all for fun games.
Hardcore country!
I'm sorry, but I had to do it. But again, it was nothing personal, was nothing disrespectful, no offense, nothing personal, like I said already, and it was all just for business and all for fun and games. But how can I not take advantage of that, by the way? Because, well, you knew what that meant. But for all serious now, let's get back to this review. I love Mickey James, hardcore country. So
Hardcore country!
anyways, yeah, that was funny though. They show on Impact Plus moment of the week was Bully Ray defeating not Bully Ray, defeating Chris Sabin. It was Chris Sabin defeating Bully Ray to become the TNA World Champion at the time. We'll give him a moment, folks. Alright. And I'm back. I had to reload. Alright, let me go back to it now. And here we are. So yeah, like I said, they showed the Impact Plus moment of the week with Bully Ray losing the belt to Chris Sabin. So then we get to the main event. Satoshi Kojima versus Rhino, with Eddie Edwards at ringside for Kojima, and with Run by Design, Eric Young, Joe Doring, and Diener at ringside for Rhino. if Kojima beats Rhino, then Kojima and Eddie Edwards will get a future Impact World Heavyweight Championship title match opportunity, which I'm glad to do it in a one-on-one. I'm glad to do it in a one-on-one match instead of a tag team match, because if you would have done it to the tag team champions, that would have been dumb. Like usual. But they're all smart this time, and I thought that was the right outcome there. And I'm pretty sure it was Kojima's idea, by the way, to book this way, because if they would have booked it their ways, it would have been stupid. But they had a match, Kojima and Rhino. It was decent, with Kojima getting the win with the strong lariat. So yeah, that means Kojima and Eddie Edwards will get a tag team title shot against Rhino and Joe Doring. Also, we get Sammy Callahan coming out of nowhere. He's the ICU hacker, and he wants answers. So Scott the Boy comes out. Before we got that, we had Shakuri's coming out too. To try to kick out Sammy Callahan because he's not supposed to be there. He's supposed to be fired. Scott the Boy came out, to tell Shakuri across to leave, and he basically reveals that Sammy Callahan, what you're doing right now is not helping the matters. When it comes to the representation of Anthem, who's going to be shown up here. Just handle the situation, and again, basically letting you know that the way you're handling things right now is not going to help your case at all. So you have to play by my rules here. And Sam Callahan's fine. Okay, fine. I'll play by your rules. And also he starts coming he starts leaving the ring. Missing his phone, all that. That he's the ICU hacker. And he was gone. And then also Scott the Boy was just in the ring. Also him get Don Callis coming out and says, see what I told you, man. I told you Friday Sammy Callahan was the best thing. I did you a favor and everything, right? So they're having a back and forth and all that. Also, and Tommy Dreamer comes out, and I see myself, why is he coming out? And then as soon as he got in the ring, he starts talking about about some mistakes that's made, and and I'm like, oh no. Don't tell me he's the representation of Anthem. And sure enough, he announced that he was. And I'm like, oh god. It was a letdown. I'm not Tommy Dreamer. I like Tommy Dreamer. He's one of my favorites growing up. However, this was a letdown. I was expecting maybe a Mickey James, which is why they showed the trash bag of Mickey James with her name on it. Maybe that was a hint there or a sign that she was going to be there. I don't know. Maybe that was. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just poking fun at Mickey James because she decided to to be with NWA, even though she's not really signed with NWA. It's just one of those things she wanted to be a part of. But I don't know. I don't know what was behind that whole thing, but I would love to. It would have been Mickey James. That would be because I heard
Hardcore Country.
That would have been nice, but what can you do? So when I found out it was Tommy Dreamer, it was a letdown, a huge letdown. That it was Tommy Dreamer being the representation of Anthem, and basically he had to make some changes. And yeah, Scott D'Amore losing his mind because he thinks he's gonna be fired, and all of a sudden Don Callis isn't being fired. So not only he was he's been let go of his position for real, but he's been let go of his position on screen. As a relates to kayfabe, So yeah, that's it for Scott. Not for Don Callis, I meant to say, of being the executive vice president of Impact Wrestling. As he storms away, he's angry, he's hot, he's all red. He starts leaving. We see him backstage. All of a sudden, he bumps into Sam Callahan, and Sam Callahan, so you're fired or everything. That was not official, not everything. Like, don't worry, I'm not gonna beat you up. That'll be too easy. He says, he's not gonna make your life a living hell once he beats King Omega for the Impact World title in the main event at Summerversary, because with him being reinstated, That means that's something too. Tom Dreamer made that announcement that Sam Callihan is reinstated. So yeah, Sam Callihan, before being reinstated, that means he gets his opportunity back to face Kenny Omega for the Impact World title at Summerversary. And that was it for the show. And folks, that will conclude your Impact Wrestling review. I gotta find something out here, folks. I just saw something, but we're into the article. But anyways, let's get to the Tomar Wrestling happened here. And yeah, I still can't believe that Tina Dashwood and Rachel Ellerman was a long match, but it was a good match though. Either way, it was still a good match. I was not expecting the match to be that long though. And I think we're up to 5 now. Was it 5 matches? Yes, 5 matches. So yes, there were 5 matches on the show. 5 matches, and there you go. That was Tomar Wrestling from Impact Wrestling from June 17th, 2021. And my overall strength for the show, I'm gonna go with a 7.5 out of 10. I would give it an 8 out of 10, or maybe an 8.5 out of 10, close to a 9 out of 10. If it was Mickie James, with her being Hardcore Country, her being the representation of Anthem, but because it was Tom Dreamer, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. So 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. I'll go for. Still a good show though. Still a good show. Some good wrestling on the show. So it is what it is. But there you go, folks. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's Not Your Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. For you to stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world, wear your mask, and love one another, God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. For I am out here, ta-ta for now, take care. And ladies and gentlemen, before the Natural Born Driller really goes, your winner, and still, taking out the trash champion. Again, no disrespect, no offense, nothing personal, just business, all for fun and games, which is Mickie James taking out the trash, but still, you're taking out the trash champion. Yours truly, the Natural Born Driller. And if you don't like it, beat it, because no one wants to be defeated from Natural Born Driller and Hardcore Country. As I am the reigning, defending, undisputed, taking out the trash champion.
Hardcore Country!